Hi, my name is Shantae Bowen of Astronomy Club.
I'm James III, also from Astronomy Club. And we wrote Bodegas and Dragons. Yeah.
We wrote it together in a small cubicle in New York.
How did the idea come up, Shantae?
I was on the train. That's it. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. No, it's just like I used to work with this guy. I'd be like, hey Dave, what's going on? Like, where you headed after work? And he was like, oh, I'm going to my Dungeons and Dragons group. And I was like, what is that? And he started explaining, and I was like, that sounds boring.
Good morrow, my fellow Comptonians. I, Schoolboy Reggie, have called this quest.
This is a sketch that Shantae came up with. It was just really funny to us, like, why don't we put black people in a kind of Dungeons and Dragons world? That world is like typically very white. I mean, I'm not saying, but if you've seen Game of Thrones, a lot of white people, you know what I'm saying? So we're like, why don't we put some black people in it?
My big mother is in need of ingredients for her hood-famous cheese grits. We must journey to the Crenshaw Bodega.
A bodega is a convenience store where you can get anything you need, usually at any time.
You can get anything.
Everything.
Everything. You can get
anything you think of
milk,
is at the bodega.
Eggs, loose cigarettes.
Insulin.
Oh my God, the insulin, the bodega insulin is the best.
It's the best insulin.
No one should die.
The sketch itself, it combines Dungeons and Dragons kinds of characters, but make them very stereotypical black,
yes,
archetypes.
Who's with me?
I, Darius, black athlete of Compton, blue chip prospect, stand with thee.
I, Yolanda, drug dealer of the block and high priestess of heroin, have got thy back.
And I, Tanisha the thickest.
As I was pitching the idea, as it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, oh, this kind of, this is a little iffy, This is skirting the line of stereotype. And then started working with James, and we were trying to figure out what's the messaging on this. And then we kind of came up with, a lot of times there'll be marketing campaigns or, corporations will put stuff out and it'll be racist. And you're like, how did it make it past all those fucking people? There's so many people.
And still these things make it to posters, make it to advertisements.
Yes.
How did we let this get to market? This game is one of the most racist things I've ever seen, and I went to Duke.
People who run these corporations or who are on top of it, they're always like, oh, how can we get to the urban community? Or what do we think they want to see? Or what do we think they represent? And then you get this terrible version that's not realistic.
The sketch itself, without that element, you might be like, oh, I'm cutting this off. This is racist.
There's a twist that kind of cleans it all up.
How did we miss this? We're ruined.
I tried to tell y'all. I sent 285 emails. Look, Cracker, look!
Watching James III lose his mind at the bosses after having tried to warn them several times, it connected with me. And I think most people, maybe even in this room, you can sometimes be in a situation where you feel like, I told y'all this wasn't gonna work, or anyone could have seen this, but y'all don't ever listen to me. And then when it hits the fan, everyone was like, I don't know how that went wrong. And it's like, people were telling you, hey, don't do this, it's inappropriate.
The art department made a game. They made a game, and it's it goes from the couch to the bodega and the board pieces. And I actually played Dungeons and Dragons, and they let me have the dice, and I used the dice that we use in the sketch. I now play with those dice every other week.